So, what do you do when you're getting really sick and tired of Pokemon? You open up a beer, you come downstairs at about midnight, throw on Taylor Swift, and you play UU with a really silly old team until you get a good match. And that's exactly what I just did. And I have a good match to share with you guys. First, the team here. As you can see, we got a normal Scarf Reckless, me and Shao. This one's Adamant as opposed to Jolly because I really, really do notice the power difference, and it is really incredibly awesome how much more powerful this thing is. Star of the frickin' show here, physically defensive Arcanine. You think there's too many physical threats running around in UU? Nothing can get by this thing. It's absolutely ridiculous. If you're running offensive Arcanine, it's actually a really bad choice. Physically defensive Arcanine has to be one of the greatest consistent Pokemon I think I've ever used. It's so ridiculous. And we got ourselves here a Heracross, just a normal Choice Scarf Mox Heracross. The team's, like I said, a little bit old, so this was kind of the norm back then. 2 Scarf fighting types. Got a Specs Raikou because I like being powerful as hell. Specs Modest, by the way. I guess that has to be Rash. Not Modest. Sorry. Whoop. What am I doing? Okay. Got Special Defensive Meloetta with Dual Stab, Perish Song, and U-Turn. Not exactly great, but considering I have Physically Defensive Arcanine to take all my physical hits and burn stuff, Meloetta can come in and really do work. It can really shine on this team. And last but not least, so like all the nicknames would be kind of normal so far. Meloetta, Raikou, Heracross, and then I just have a random Machamp, all caps, Hold My Pickle, and it's a Sub-Dynamic Punch Machamp. Why it's named that, I couldn't tell you. I made this team like 5-6 months ago, so ask me back then. I could not tell you. Anyway, let's get on to the game.
Okay, so looking at the team preview here, he's got a very stally defensive core with the Hitmontop, Umbreon, and Slowbro. Those would be really annoying to break through. He's got his own Yanshao, which is obviously a huge offensive threat. He's got a Yanmega, and if he's allowed to keep Stealth Rock off the field, which actually I don't even have Stealth Rock on this team, so Yanmega is automatically a gigantic threat. Like, I can't even begin to describe how big of a threat Yanmega is, especially if it's Tinted Lens. And then he's got a Kingdra. If it's Specs, I'm going to have a little bit of trouble because I'm going to have to... I don't really have a special wall. I mean, I have Meloetta, but it can't take repeated hits. And, yeah. If it's physical, however, I can just send an Arcanine. And just generally, I'll be off at a better footing because physically defensive Arcanine is the boss. Anyway, let's just get into this battle right now. So, I'm going to lead Arcanine as he leads me in Shao. I am not worried in the slightest. I'm just going to go for a Will-O-Wisp on turn 1. Because I got the Intimidate, and I know I can live when he hit quite easily, actually. And he's going to go out in the Kingdra as I get the Willow off. And the fact that he switches out right now and does not drop a Draco as I switch out to Meloetta to scout for it tells me that he's probably physically offensive Kingdra, which is fantastic. I'm going to go for a Hyper Voice, knowing that it's probably going to do a decent amount to the Slowbro because they're physically defensive generally. So he hits me up with a T-Wave, and I'm just going to U-turn out the next turn after he hits me up with a Surf. I don't know why I'm saying hits me up so much. I'm going to go out into Specs Raikou, knowing that I can get a nice solid hit off on something, and then I forget how defensively bulky Umbreon is. God, that is sickening. Anyway, I'm going to go out to Hold My Pickle, and that's going to go for a quick Dynamic Punch. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for an interesting Pokemon to run, Substitute Machamp is just about as annoying as you can get. You know how much of a threat Machamp is. If your opponent leads off with a Machamp, you're like, I don't really have anything to switch in because I don't want anything getting confused. You know what's really annoying? When they go for a sub when you hit yourself in confusion. That just makes Machamp, it's bulky, and then it has Substitute, and then it's getting confusion. It's just not fun to face. So, if you're looking for a Pokemon to try out, I definitely recommend Sub Machamp. It's quite interesting. Anyway, as you can see there, I crit the Hitmontop. Not that it really mattered for him because I don't have Rapid or Stealth Rock on this team. I'm going to switch out on the Heracross on the Slowbro and hit him with a giant Mega Horn as he T-Waves me, and then because I'm Scarfed, I'm still faster. I don't know if he expected to outspeed and hit me with a Psychic or something, but either way, I know I can save that thing for fodder later as I switch out on the Raikou expecting to take a resisted hit. Unfortunately, it does way too much. I'm like, okay, most useless thing on my team? Meloetta. Let's just sack Meloetta. It's paralyzed, it's pretty useless, and he goes into Umbreon, and I'm like, okay, I guess I can just turn out and go out and Hold My Pickle. He turns out the Heal Bell, which means his Kingdra is back in business. Anyway, that allows me to just get up a free Substitute on the Switch. Another reason why Sub Machamp is fantastic. And I can just hit this thing with giant Ice Punch, and that's going to do a lot to the Yanmega. I did a calc, and Bullet Punch will not kill from that range, so I'm just going to go back out into Meloetta and try to sack it again, because literally being paralyzed and just him not having any real special threats, it's not that useful for me. Well, he does, he has the Yanmega, but I'm going to be forced to kill it with other means. Anyway, here he sets up a Wish, and I was terrified of him passing it out to Yanmega, so I'm just going to keep going for Psychic. And in fact, I don't even want him switching out to Meloetta, or into Yanmega, so I'm going to continue going for Psychic this entire time, just so he can't get the Wish off to it. Anyway, here I'm going to go for the sub, and he just put a Wish in the air, and once again, I'm terrified of that switch out to Yanmega, so I'm going to go for the Ice Punch, not the Dynamic Punch, as he's just playing mind games with me, but really it does not matter. It's foul play, it's not going to do that much, and I'm just going to be able to get off a Dynamic Punch, do 91% to this Umbreon, which is absolutely fantastic. Doesn't quite kill. Bullet Punch does not quite kill, but Confusion will kill it. So there you go. There you go. GG, Umbreon. Bullet Punch, as you can see, doesn't even come that close to killing. But what it does do is it puts it in the range where Adamant High Jump Kick will be able to take it out. So Yanmega's gonna die to that. In comes Mienshao, and I'm like, okay, next best thing to sack is Heracross because I really don't need it. And it turns out to be a Life Orb one as opposed to a Scarf one. So I feel like it's a little bit easier to deal with just because I won't have to be worrying about reckless high jump kicks coming my way. But luckily he U-turns out and kills me, which gives me switch advantage, as I know I can just go with the Raikou and kill off his Kingdra with a Specs T-Bolt. He's going to kill off my Raikou with a high jump kick, but this allows me to just bring in Arcanine. And I haven't really got to show this thing off, but that, ladies and gentlemen, is a Life Orb high jump kick from a Mienshao. I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at, and that's a super effective Stone Edge from a Life Orb Mienshao. And I just take both those hits, Morning Sun them off, and oop, I missed a Willow, it's fine, I have another chance here, and I do hit it, and that's basically just going to allow Arcanine to stall out the rest of this man's team. So, yeah, it was a very interesting game. I really, really, really highly recommend physically defensive Arcanine over everything else. It's just such an amazing Pokemon. In 10 or 15 games that I played so far tonight, I'm going to say it's done something really remarkable in at least 2/3 of them, and it's done something in every single game. It's never really just death fodder. Like, it's kind of like Braviary. You send it in to die, and it just lives hits that you thought it was going to die to. Either way, leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll be sure to see you next time. Take it easy, guys. Peace.